Cheers.
Cheers.
Here's
Hey.
to a new house.
Here's to a new house.
Yeah. By the way, why all of this?
Why move?
Yeah, why move? What good? What gives? I mean, we love
Seriously.
this house.
Right. I'll be really honest with you. It's just the pain of the experience of living here through COVID and through breakups. Robyn and I have lived in Flagstaff for 6 years. 5 of those years have been in this house. This 5 years have been the 5 years that my family has just eroded, crumbled, and moved on.
Hi, besties. Welcome back to my channel. You know who's going to be playing the victim this weekend? Probably Robyn Brown, pretending as though she didn't want this life. She didn't choose this. Everyone took this away from her. She doesn't want to be a monogamist. She wanted to relive her religion, and being the only wife really sucks. Which is hilarious. It's nonsensical, but I'll remind you of some of the ridiculous things that Robyn says.
I'm tired of being punished and blamed, and people thinking I'm a bad person because I'm communicating. I'm tired of feeling bad that I have a good relationship with Kody when other people don't. That's on them. They need to figure that out. She was the one that made choices. Janelle's the one that made choices. They handed him to me and said, we don't want to spend time with him, basically. He's had wives reject him affection-wise because they are uncomfortable or they don't like it.
I've had one of the kids call me and ask me, can't we just relax the rules? I mean, I do want to be careful, but these aren't my rules.
You know, you got to blame somebody, so I'm an easy target.
I didn't sign up for monogamy.
And I'm tired of being questioned. I'm just tired of it. I was pushing for the video chat for the sake of the kids. When I was getting all this pushback, I just finally went, why am I trying here? And I was like, fine, I'm out. You know, this is an effort in futility. My kids and I think it's heartbreaking and stupid because we don't understand. And here it is, just another reaffirmation that we're the outsiders and we're on the other side. We're not. We refuse to be. We don't know what else to do.
Okay. And that was when, you know, and if that's somebody doing that, that means like Christine didn't know me well. She didn't take the time to know me very well. Sorry, I don't know how to let this go. And this isn't me just being dramatic. Thank you, Christine. Oh, so horrible to have her say that.
I don't care how many presents you give, and I don't care how many special foods you make, or how many fancy houses you rent, or anything like that. It's a cheap version. It's a broken version.
I watched this show yesterday on Peacock, which is the streaming service for NBC. Y'all, there's this show called Southern Fried Lies, and it's about this lady named Donna Herring who apparently took a will and had it rewritten or fabricated a will after her daughter's fiance passed away in a car accident. And the prosecutor or the FBI agent was describing Donna like a master manipulator. Like, she's so good at manipulating people. They think that the ideas that they're having are their own. And she's so skilled at like getting through manipulation into getting people to do what she wants, that she's extremely dangerous, and that she lies so frequently and uses tears and victimness to deflect and distract. I could have sworn they were not talking about Donna Herring, but they were talking about Robyn Brown. And this, my friends, made me realize just how dangerous Robyn is. Robyn is putting ideas into people's minds, including her children and Kody, that everyone besides her and her needs and everything that she does is evil, dangerous, and wicked. She has got Kody believing that her ex-husband was abusive and has told her children that their father doesn't want to be a father to them, told them that he abused them. He never did. The divorce records between her husband, her ex-husband, no allegations of domestic violence were ever made. Ever. In fact, in her divorce records, she literally said that asking questions of a child was cornering them, interrogating them, and abusive. Seriously. So that's Robyn Brown, and you should watch Southern Fried Lies. Now let's get back into what happens with this new episode.
You haven't seen Jack for what? It was very, very painful experience. There was such a want to change my environment. And that's pain oriented. That's just from pain. That's just something to do with trauma, emotional trauma. And it was right when Romney had sort of an epiphany where she just went, I'm done with Coyote Pass.
Okay, I just did some math here, and this is just Kody and Robyn. I was thinking about how many times Kody and Robyn have moved, right? And I think I've figured it out. 7 times they've moved in the last 15 years. So this means that every couple years, Kody decides that he has too much trauma, pain, or he's running from something, running from the law, running from a creditor, running from a conflict, running from something that he's unwilling to face because he lacks the emotional maturity to actually deal with his problems. I was thinking about my own life, you guys. So I built a house in 2012. We moved in 2013. And I've been in this house since 2013. I had to move from one home, sell a home, move into a rental for a very short period of time. And then we built this house. We have been in this house for 12 years. 12 years. I've moved twice since 2012, but only one of those moves was because of building. We stayed once we built, right? I think of how unconscionable it is to do this to children. You're uprooting a kid's sense of security. You're uprooting a kid's sense of stability. You're changing schools. I mean, those kids they went from Lehigh in a a small church school. Then they went to public school for 1 year. Then they pulled them out of school, and then they moved them to Vegas. While in Vegas, they were in school, and then they pulled them out of school in Vegas and moved them to Flagstaff. And some of the kids they pulled out when they were juniors in high school, which just feels so cruel. And then to have little kids never getting a sense of stability, never getting a sense of this is my place. Like, think of when you grow up, you have that place that you know you grew up. Whether or not you go back to the house that you grew up in or whatever, you have memories from that place. These kids have no sense of what that place is because they've lived in so many places. I think about my son, right? He has only ever lived really in this house. He doesn't remember living in the other home for like 5-6 months or the rental that we lived in until he was about 1. Ever since he's been 1 year old, he has been in this house and he just turned 13. When I think about moving because I might want a little bit more space or a better place to record for my podcast, or if I just want more space because his toys are taking over my life, I just think about what would that do to him? This is his security blanket. This is where he feels comfortable. This is his home. Why would I take that away from him because I want more space or I think I need something else? What sense is there in that? What practicalness is there in that? This is why I don't think Kody and Robyn ever think about anyone but themselves. They're so selfish.
How's she liking being the only wife?
Robyn struggled with the whole thing. I mean, she married me under the premise of plural marriage with the expectation of plural marriage. And the other wives left. I wondered if my value to her was diminished. I mean, I'm still wondering.
Sure, being the only wife is great in some ways, but there's also ways that it's not great. This was not the life that I expected and not the life that I planned for myself.
Robyn's such a liar because she absolutely did expect to be a plural monogamist because she did everything in her world to like alienate Kody from his family as well as pit him against his own children and make them the problem. She also created this sense that I'm the victim and need to be saved. And I'm going to be clear about something. She and Kody met with the leaders of the church. She did try to get Kody to come back into the family. She wanted them to use Coyote Pass to build a compound. She was trying to get Kody and the church to agree that they could build a church commune type place on Coyote Pass. They could recruit new members to Coyote Pass and they could start their own branch of the AUB down in Flagstaff. But that didn't work, okay? And so now she's giving up on Coyote Pass. And they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that Robyn was trying to have them get a compound down in Coyote Pass. But regardless, if Robyn really let go of the Coyote Pass, as Kody says, and she really does still believe in her faith, which I don't believe that she does, she would go back to church and she would leave Kody. Because currently, under the doctrine that she says she ascribes to, she's going to hell 100%. She is not going to the celestial kingdom. Kody has lost his wife. She was unsealed from him. She was released. Janelle's going through the release process as well. The leaders in the church view him as a failure, and she could be very well getting advice from church leaders that in order for her soul to be saved, she needs to be with a man that's in good standing with the church and in good standing with, their faith and with having enough wives for the celestial kingdom. So if she really cared about her faith, she would leave him. She would go back to church. She would move back to Utah or Montana, and she would get back into the cult. But she's not doing any of that. So her actions don't match her words at all. If she truly had a religious conviction, she would live the principle. And the fact that she won't makes me feel like this was never about religion. It was about securing Kody status and financial stability. And honestly, she wouldn't go back to the church because she's not going to get financial stability from most of the men in that church because they're not wealthy. Very rarely are men in that culture wealthy unless they are leaders, and even the leaders aren't that wealthy. You don't have a ton of billionaires in this church. You don't have a ton of people that are making millions of dollars. You have maybe a few, but not a lot. And she's 46 years old, so she can't give new children to a man. So the only kind of guy that's going to take her is an older guy that is just adding new wives to his harem as he's closing in on the end of his life and possibly trying to become like a prophet in the church. But she's not going to end up in a new union with getting swept off her feet with a guy her own age. It just would not happen because a guy her own age is picking up girls at that church that are 20, 19, 18. They're not picking Robyn. They're looking for a woman that makes babies. Robyn is too old now. She's not prime real estate for the guys in that cult. They like them young. It's disgusting.
And while I love Kody, I did not ever intend or expect or want to have him to myself. I always wanted to live plural marriage. I wanted to live my religion.
She can't. We made her covenant on the basis of having.
Yeah, it was like started out that way because, I remember growing up, you were the coolest polygamist I knew, right? And then now you're not.
Not a polygamist at all.
Here's what I'll tell you about why she's lying. If Robyn wanted to live her religion, she wouldn't have married Kody. If Robyn wanted to live her religion, she wouldn't have gone public. If Robyn wanted to live her religion, she wouldn't have married a man, gone on a reality show, and then abandoned her religion by becoming famous. Her church wanted nothing to do with the show. They would not allow them to discuss the church on their show. They were basically rebuked by their church leader, who from the pulpit told Kody that he didn't agree with Kody getting the show, that Kody would literally lose his entire family because his motivations were only about fame and not about faith, and that Kody's ill intentions would cause the demise of his family. This leader said that he had a prophecy from God that Kody would literally lose his family. The church did not want to be public. They didn't want to be exposed because what they do is not legal. They didn't want anything. So if Robyn really cared about her religion, she wouldn't have done any of these things. She would have married one of the men that's in the church that had chosen to live their religion in secret, in the cult, away from the public. She was after fame. She was after money. She was after an opportunity. Now she's saying, I didn't want this because I wanted to relive my religion. I don't know anyone that's in the AUB that has left recently or left past tense that says that the Browns made a good decision by being on this show. They are very much they're like pariahs at the church. Kody is not liked by the church leaders. They have abandoned their teachings. They swear. They don't wear their garments. They drink alcohol. They drink coffee. They engage in this world. They use the media to make money. I mean, their clothing doesn't meet the requirements. Kody's hair doesn't meet the requirements. Robyn's appearance doesn't meet the requirements. Their kids' appearances don't meet the requirements. They're not living their religion, and they haven't been living their religion for more than the entire time they've been on this show. The minute their church said, we don't want you to do this, and they did it anyway, they stopped living their religion. So that's the truth. And Robyn's just doing this to play the victim. And by making this claim to Kody, she can keep him feeling like she might leave him. And then Kody can also use, well, I'll get you a new wife. I'll flirt online for you. I'll find you some new, sister wives to keep her from not leaving him. And they'll just keep playing this game. I honestly think that he bought this house because he wanted to put Robyn in more debt because they bought it together. I think he wanted to give her the home that she wanted, right? So he wanted to give her the big house that she wanted so that he won't leave, or she won't leave, because he thinks if he buys her gifts, she's not going to leave him. And as long as he can provide this life that she wants, he won't leave. And again, they're not going to break up unless Robyn decides that she's going to go and leave him, or unless she gets tired of him and he goes broke. But this is just such bullcrap. And Robyn is so dangerous. And then imagine being so hell-bent on playing the martyred victim of the entire situation that you routinely tell the public and the world that you don't want, or you don't find it great to be your husband's wife. Like, that in and of itself is disobedient to the patriarch and to the religion. The fact that she is saying it's not great and she has an option to say that, she's not living her religion. And plus, if your husband heard that, how is that going to make them feel secure? It doesn't. It's just a stupid game, because this is what she's done. It's fake, it's phony, and this is why Mary and Christine and Janelle all call Robyn's version of polygamy fake, because it is. So what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, besties.